There's a Judith and Dan set. We're gonna have a lot of water coming this week. There's 3 days of solid rain, and about the rest of the week, 10-day forecast says 70% chance of rain. So this is gonna come up, right? This is the channel that it came up in. Got caught last time, but what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna slip these gloves on. But yeah, I cut myself with a scalpel. The only thing that stopped me from going all the way into my finger was my fingernail. I went to change a broken blade and went to pop it off on the edge of the table to slide off, and finger slid right up and cut me. So I'm gonna pause this real quick. Got my Judith and Dan's here. Last year's batch was a little chunky. This year's batch, the way they made it, it's actually kind of good. I like it. It's actually just the right. So far, when I'm getting into it, it's just enough grinding in it that you get a little piece out every time. It's not pulling out a whole caster. Alpha Delta cast lure here. Not going to make too much noise because actually right down here, a big hole in the ground where they can go up in and live. It's under. If I can get this off. There we go. So, from my understanding, there's actually see how it's ground up a lot better this year. There's not a lot of like a whole chunk of caster like I had in one of mine. So this is actually pretty good. I like this. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying don't put as much caster, but if I put it here, right, it's going to wash away because the water's with an 1.5 inches of rain. This is going to be almost over the top of this trap, so I'm going to put it up high like I did last time. Put a little on here best I can. Right, there's a trap, there's a channel, there's another 220. Gonna take this best I can without losing it. Right, put it up in the tree like I did last time. Should work fine. It's up in the tree up there. See it up there in the tree, the little white Q-tip. Hopefully that gets a little smelt wafting around, and yeah, let's see what happens. Some kind of weird, I don't know what that is, but there's some poop right here. It's almost maybe rat poop, but it's very gelatinous looking. Very weird. It almost looks like a bunch of eggs, but it's not. It's like about the size of salmon eggs. If you ever fish salmon eggs, individual salmon eggs, is about a bundle of 4 or 5 there, and not really sure what it is, but that's what we're gonna do here. I already smell a Judith and Dan. It's already wafting around. The rain's probably gonna knock it down there. It's still gonna waft out here, but like I said, if I put it there, it's gonna end up getting washed away tonight. We're gonna get a bunch of rain tonight. It's just gonna wash out. It's gonna be useless. That's why last time when I caught the beaver, I actually had it up in the tree and it fell, and the Q-tip is actually sitting right here, right there. And so yeah, another one up in the tree. It should be fine. That's all for this set. See what happens. Bunch of chewed twigs here. You see them there, right? There's one there, a couple over there. But this is where they were coming up now and chewing this year. Before we got in here last year, they were down by that other trap chewing. But I ended up popping one down there and not up here, so it's kind of interesting. And the hole I was talking about is right up here. It's a hole probably like 5 feet across under the water that they can hide in. So I try not to make a lot of noise coming down to this section. We have another trap over there that's still set in that channel that you saw the first beaver caught in. Now we're going to go down to the next beaver. All right, this one's been pulled. It's had a bunch of junk in it. Then do it a little different this time. We'll pop this off here. Do the best I can, the way I want to do it. So we've had a lot of problems, right? And don't know if it'll make a difference, but what I'm going to do here is take this guy. I have an injured pinky and injured thumb, so kind of makes things a little bit fun. I know I talked about it last video, the particularly the pliers I usually use safety with, which is very recommended for all traps, but got a little flack on Facebook when I talked about the RBG. But what I tend to do, push against my stomach. There's a lot of pressure here, right? So I mean, you still hold it when you get to a certain point, but there is a lot of pressure on this trap. And like someone said, why do you bang it down? Did you file a dog? I said no. I do that on all traps. Just a couple hits and it's guaranteed locked up. I don't have to worry about it now. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to test the trigger. Nothing. Just a couple hits and it's done. That's reassuring me that it is perfectly set, the dog. I don't have to think about it. So I just flip this over. Make sure I have this good, nice tight. Slide this off real quick. Very carefully. Slide it back on. Slide this side. Slide this side off. Watch your fingers. Saw this on, because I didn't want his fingers to hit the trap. So, and you tell that the trigger's all bent up on this, but fix that later, right? Don't really want to touch this and have it accidentally fire right now. Gonna worry about that later. Get this all the way down, all the way down there, and then lock the thing. We could also technically set another double stack here if we wanted to, but I don't feel like throwing all these traps in here. And ooh, this one's done. So be careful of that. That locked up on the outside, the hook of the trigger. Or grabbed on this, so be careful of that. That happens, it's gonna really, this trigger fire is just gonna mess with the springs. We're gonna throw the trap around and potentially bend this all up. Even though it's spring steel, we'll still bend it because of the power of the springs. We're gonna get this up a little bit, best we can. Slide up as best we can, like that. I'm gonna sit here and make sure the cable's all right. You guys saw me build these with the swivels and all the way down to the multiple swivels in case something, if this pops up stand, they wiggle a little bit, it'll be fine. Gonna take this and not fall in, hopefully. Get a little closer, grab this stand here and set it the best we can.
Closer to the left.
Try to get this in here best I can. I don't know if you guys are gonna see this without falling in the creek. Let me see the dive stick.
What's that?
Let me see the dive stick.
There's a certain way of having it swivel that you turn that and lock it in.
Oh, you had it so that would lock in? What? You want it down further? What I'm worried about is the drop off here. It's going to drop down. Just rut it out. I don't want it down in the drop. I want it the high end. So whether they come up or go down, they're going to get hit it. So that works. For now, it's best we can do. So that's that kind of. I would have put the dive stick on the other side, but I'm not too worried about it because lately they've been coming down to the creek instead of up. With high water, it's not going to matter anyways. But that's the set for now. So this one we're using here on this set just to get a little calling agent moving around here. Hopefully pull them up a bit from down creek. On this tip high spot here, we're going to add some. We're going to add some of this Trap Shed Supply Dirty Beaver. It's not a sweet lure. It's interesting to smell it. It's not super sweet, but it has a castory smell. There's a little castoreum in it. It has a little bit different makeup, and it's a good predator lure. But this is a good beaver lure too. It's a little different smell. There's nothing really like it on the market. So don't fall in. Nope. Put it straight up in the air. In the air, dude. You're blocking it by the thing. We want the air to catch it. Put it on top of that bunch of grass. Straight up. You're already losing the caster. That's why I wanted it on the up there. Right there, that's fine. It's not going to make a difference whether it's angled down or up. So the only difference is the air is going to catch and waft it around. That's the only difference. And that's could make a difference in coming up and smelling or being 2 feet from the trap and then smelling it. So that's the strategy there. But my dad's helped me most of my life with fishing. I'm almost 30 years old. He still helps me with tips, all this stuff. So every time we do stuff, now I try to pay him back by helping him learn things, right? Because he's done it my whole life and he still does it. And I'm a grown-ass adult. But we still work together. I still try to coach him with stuff I know. He coaches me with stuff he knows. And that's why you see us talking back and forth, coaching each other, etc. So that's kind of why you see that. Where a lot of people are like, are you teaching your dad? No. I'm helping coach him on stuff that I know, and he coaches me on stuff I know. It's just kind of a way to give back to each other. So, down to the next one. On to this one here. My brother does, see, I gotta take this off anyways, because it's not even on the thing crooked, right? Not even on right. It's not even actually on the stand, which in tail actually makes it easier for me to fix all this stuff and all this grass. This one was set off during the high water. I couldn't see anything, so I decided to pull the whole stand and by the chain, and we pulled it out. So, make sure this is right. A little more apart here. Let's figure out how I want to do this. Just enough, and make sure they're straight so I don't catch any things. So I'll sit like that, kind of crooked. Make sure it's straight. My idea here is that try to get them right behind the head, but or hit them kind of where the eyes are underwater, and then it fires right behind the head. But so you got to figure out how big their head is when you do that stuff. So it's kind of my analogy here. That's how I do it. Other people are like, well, I want a body catch because I don't trust the traps. Well, these Blyles, you don't have to worry about body catches to catch them. Sometimes it happens. That's not a big deal. I gotta flip this other way. Not a huge issue when you catch them in the body, but I don't know. I just prefer behind the head. Very humane. And okay, I'm gonna put this higher on my body because that's hurting. And I talk about on another video that I usually use scissors for these, but there's a lot of power behind these. Like, it's really tough. Just set here. So I have the full powers of the springs in my hands with these. The Blyles, or the RBGs, you don't always have the full power behind them until they fire, and that's where I like the RBGs better, because you can hold them easier. These are really tough to hold, right? See, like that, and now I didn't even do my own method there where I hit it. In a second here, I'm going to grab the setters because this is starting to become, or the safety, and just hit that down. Now it won't freaking slip. Part of this is these here, which might bite me in the freaking hand if I'm not careful with the springs. What's that? Oh, water. So now, let's see here. Keep that down. Make sure it's down because I adjust the springs again. Let's see. Turn this around. Have a good grip on this. Inside that spring, you see. Make sure you see that. On this one, pop off, slide it in best I can. Slide the springs back on. Hopefully you guys can see that. This camera is a pretty wide view angle, so I'm not 100%. I'm still learning how to get it all on camera, but gosh dang. It's not. Oh, there we go. Gee, many crickets. Whew, it's down now. Put this up best I can. Put these up best I can. Dogs is a little crooked, the trigger, but that's fine. The dog's all the way down. It's locked up just fine. Safeties are going off. My brother's trick where he tells you. So that is set best you can. Gonna go out here in the creek. Put this. Not fall in, hopefully, because I don't know where the edge is. Okay, I need to go out further. Okay, out further. Okay, down. It's already coming off the sand, so that's not gonna work. There we go. Ah, Jesus Christ. Sorry, didn't mean to say that in Jesus' name. Woo! Oh, that's all the way in. Oh, that is deep, man. Whew. Forgive me for saying Jesus Christ. In the Lord's name in vain. I just did it again on it. Apologies to the person that was upset with that.
Mark that right there. I don't think you got it up.
Be fine. For now, it's gonna be fine. I need to find a stick.
Tell me every cent.
Yeah, right now, what we're doing is marking this chain so we can find it in high water. So I'm gonna find this if we can get the stake in, and if I can get this stuff in here best I can. So if the trap disappears, that's gonna mark the chain so we can find the trap. That's about it for this. We're gonna put a little lure up here on this tree here, and then that's about it. So thanks for coming along. Whew, I misspoke earlier and said, oh, another beaver. I didn't mean to say that. This means going down to the next trap. Gotta put a little trap shed supplies beaver lure up here, and that's about it. That's it. Oh, dirty beaver. Split my glove already. Dirty beaver. Trap shed supply. Going on a stick. A little bit. You don't need a lot, dude. I was doing that early and I got midpoint. So higher.
This is the way I want it.
The way you want to do. All right, go ahead. It's gonna go in the tree. I smell it. Obviously, not super strong, but enough that it wafts around. It's not like the emulsified stuff that's super powerful, like trail scents, but you smell this stuff, you know it's there. Strong enough to use, so that's all that matters. And that's it. There's a stake. Hopefully it draws them up from there. There's a big dry area down here, right? Big area down there where it's shallow. It's a big pool of water. A bunch of houses on it, and then over the bank of that, it goes into the main creek. that's long and goes into a bigger creek and then goes into like the Columbia River. So there's technically unlimited supply of beaver if they swim up. So 11 years working here, still removing some to save the guys' apple trees. Every year more move in, we have more. So that's what we do. Have a good day. Thanks for being here.